Commissioner, we've now got Lisbon in place, the EPP have got a solid majority, and we've got a new set of commissioners in place. This must mean that after 10 years of relative trouble getting these new institutions together, things must be all set to really take off now.
I would like to say that although it was not easy, it's important to see that serious, complex institutional or political matters, reforms coming easily, also easily go. But if it comes really through difficult and engaged process of reforms, I hope that it will deliver fruits. So my feeling is determination instead of skepsis or apathy or empty optimism. The process was not easy, but promising. We agreed, and now we should deliver. And delivery means working together, defining priorities, serious conditions for delivery, including budgetary conditions for future decade. There are no easy questions left, whether global or regional, enlargement, security, energy. I think that the team of 27 commissioners, which will grow in the period probably, is balanced. Majority is EPP, so for the EPP it's a major role to take a leadership further. We have interesting trio at the top of European institutions: President of the Union, President of the Commission, President of the Parliament. I would say it's a success, but also great historical responsibility.
And so what are you looking to do with this the closest we've got to real kind of coherence and unity for a long time in the European Union? This must give you tremendous opportunities to put forward a new vision of Europe. How would you outline the major tasks for Europe ahead, and how would you tackle them?
I think that Europe should become, as we like to see or say, a global player. But to become global, it means we have to think globally and act locally. Locally means in our countries, based on subsidiarity between countries, building cohesion between regions, between countries. Being closer to people, definitely. If people feel lost or sort of foreigners within the European Union, we are all lost in terms of political credibility, capacity to act. So on one side, closer to people, communicating, working with the civic societies, with the civic institutions, dealing with such soft issues like education, science, culture. On the other, hardcore issues are security, economic competitiveness, financial reform, or a response to financial and economic crisis. There are global challenges, and many people say the world becomes again a space for powers. If Europe is just commentator or lamentator, we will not help, we will not solve the problems or issues. If we become really an actor, we can help. And whether that's format of G20 or G8, some people say G3, Europe should be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I think that there are many issues where Europe already is a leader, becoming leading entity, because we have been able in the recent years to accumulate some capacity or consensus or mechanisms. For example, common currency. 10 years ago, many people questioned the reality or possibility to stabilize such instrument. Now we got it, and it's worldwide important. In terms of energy or climate change, I think Europe shows example. It's not fait accompli, it's part of the process. And in many other areas, development policy, educational cooperation, Europe becomes more and more reference and an attractive model of cooperation. I like it because I'm from a smaller country, Slovakia, that we are not a melting pot, but described by diversity and unity. These are two sides of one coin. To respect everybody's differences or diversity of Europe as definition, but also struggle for real concrete unity. If that's the paradigm which characterizes Europe, it's the best example and also paradigm for 21st century world.
And how do you think the new Council President Van Rompuy will do representing the EU?
I wish him all the best. He, faced a lot of questions or skepsis or congratulations. From what I know him, it's a good example of moderate, solid politician, loyal to values, capable to negotiate and to build consensus. He reminds me a lot from Robert Schuman, which was also not seen as loudly speaking and high profile politician, but whenever and wherever he was acting, France and Europe was successful. And we need this sort of industrious daily work of political leaders. So I wish him really all the best, to stay loyal to the values which he is known for, and to be a good example of a successful transition from the system of the previous presidencies and rotations and questions to the more cohesive, more solid, more stable European Council positions, decisions and responsibility.
And there's one other thing that we've had recently, which was President Barroso's political guidelines for the next Commission. Now, this was initially discussed as being perhaps a little bit flimsy or lightweight, but I think people are rereading that again. Does that look like a blueprint for the next 5 years?
I think these are reasonable guidelines. This is, again, not fait accompli, but the invitation to elaborate further. I think that the new Commission will come with a strong manifesto for Union as it stands. It is in the middle of other institutions and in the middle of agenda. I think that the role of Commission is highly important for larger and larger agenda and the Union. And I know Barroso for years. He is kind of acting captain. He wants to have hands-on, listening, but speaking as well, taking decisions. I wish all the best the new Commission, because we need independent, collegial, but also active and acting, proactive college in the European Union.